What is something that seems harmless, but is actually dangerous? Straining hard to shit. If you need to strain regularly, you need to sort your diet out and/or see a doctor. You shouldn't need to strain to poo. According to urban legend, that's how Elvis died. Yes, but that was mainly due to his painkiller addiction. Opioids cause constipation. Can confirm. My brother broke his arm and had to take opioids once. He sounded like he wanted to die when he was shitting. I'd say alcohol. With the way getting absolutely wrecked is so normalized and almost a competition for some. Kiwi here. We have a huge binge drinking culture. I used to drink an 18 pack of Coddies. Other Kiwis are probably judging me hard right now, in a night. For reference, this is a bourbon RTD, that is about 1.5 standard drinks, where a 330 ml 4% beer is 1. Now I have maybe 3 beers a week, and if I have more than 4 in a night, I feel like shit. It's probably me getting old, but I like to think it's because my body is so much cleaner. I know people that have been hospitalized from poisoning. I probably should have been myself a few times, and plenty of old school mates have wrapped themselves around power poles driving drunk. I did one of those Kentucky tours when I was younger. I thought being 24 and wild meant I could outdrink anyone. Then I met you and your Aussie cousins, and boy was I humbled. Are you American perchance? I used to mock Americans that heard of friends enjoying alcohol and being afraid that they were immediately alcoholics. Of course, while it was overkill, it is something that we Antipodeans need to be more aware of. Driving while really tired. A lot of people don't realize just how dangerous it can be, almost as dangerous as driving drunk. I was once making a long trip while driving on barely any sleep and ended up nodding off at the wheel and woke up when my car went into a small ditch on the side of the road. Luckily the small highway was empty and there was nobody near me when that happened, but it made me realize just how stupid it was and how I could have been responsible for injuring or even killing someone else because of my stupid mistake. A teacher I had in high school had a very unfortunate accident once because of that. Her friend was driving the group back to their dorms while exhausted, and she fell asleep at the wheel. Drove the car over the median and the highway. The car rolled and flung my teacher out of the car. She broke her spine and ended up permanently paralyzed from the waist down and now uses a wheelchair. She had to give up her dream to be a nurse, so she teaches psychology now. Wear your fucking seatbelt. I'd rather survive a crash with a broken sternum and a few broken ribs, not to mention a scar from the belt, than be flung from a car and be at the mercy of whatever I hit. Being inside a car is the safest place to be during a collision. Not getting a proper amount of sleep. Sleep deprivation is a bitch and can fuck you up in so many ways. I regularly go full days on just a few hours of sleep. I feel like shit all the time, but it's gotten to the point where it's nearly impossible to push myself into a proper sleep schedule. My biggest regret is getting like 6 hours a night in high school as sleep. Not fun. I didn't party, did all my work, but no excuse. Yeah, I never really do anything with this time. Video games and Reddit really. Maybe YouTube, Netflix, or Hulu. Just earning back that free time I don't get when I'm at work. For about a week, I was getting up really early and going with my dad to the gym at 5 AM. That actually did a lot of good, I thought, but I couldn't keep it going. Loud noise exposure, hearing damage, tinnitus, hyperacusis. There is no cure for these problems. I find people tend to overlook this stuff, but tinnitus can drive you into severe depression and madness. My dad literally committed suicide because his tinnitus drove him insane. Yep, tinnitus is a bitch. I don't even know why I have it. I have mine since I had a kind of mental breakdown. I was close to finishing university and stressed out with my final exams when my grandmother died. Fuck cancer. I wasn't able to cope with it until 2 months later our family dog had to be put down. It was overwhelming. Everything hit me at once. I had a sudden loss of hearing. It came back, but the tinnitus came with it. It gets louder when stressed. I have had tinnitus as long as I can remember. My first memory of it was when I was 4, and I would ask people, what is that buzzing sound? The answers were always confusing to me. Sometimes people would say, what buzzing? or it's the TV or fridge, etc. My older brother convinced me that I was hearing the buzz of electricity through power lines. Finally my mom told me I was hearing the blood rushing through my veins. At the time I spent a lot of time in my dad's very loud shop and I think it damaged my hearing. A few years ago it got worse because of some meds I was taking, and I went to an ENT who discovered my hearing loss. The worst of it is gone, but even as I type this, I can hear a high-pitched ringing. It doesn't bother me unless it gets really loud. I'm used to it. It stopped once for about 5 minutes, and I thought I was going to lose my mind. Turtle/tortoises. Their bite power is intense. TMNT taught me not to fuck with turtles. That's turtle power. Going down a slide with your child in your lap. Easy for their leg to get caught on the side of the slide while you're both going down and cause serious injuries. This happened to my daughter when she was 2 years old. A woman at a preschool rode down a slide with her and broke her leg. Fortunately it was a minor break, and more fortunately it was 2 weeks before Halloween, so I got to dress her as a peg-legged pirate for Halloween. My little nephew just got his leg broken while going down a slide on his dad's lap. His dad had no idea it was dangerous and felt awful afterward. The kid handled it like a champ though, and he's doing much better now. Energy drinks. Can confirm. Almost lost my kidneys BC of them. How much did you drink? 16 cans of Red Bull in one day. Yes, I have a energy drink addiction and I can't be near them because I have no self-control around it. Caffeine overdose is not fun. Well, energy drinks are tasty and I like them. I don't drink too often, but that's so damn excessive, my dude. Small cuts. They are not big, but they can still be infected and cause blood poisoning. Especially if you scratch your itchy leaky, bacteria-ridden anus before touching it. We do not need this to become a new meme. Thank you. Yeah, like that guy who died on Everest. Or the one who broke both his arms. Or the Jolly Rancher thing. Petting a dog you don't know without asking. Dangerous to you getting bit. Dangerous to the dog getting a bite record. It's called reading the temperament of the dog. Learn the difference between a rhyme letting my owner know you're there bark from a rhyme going to fuck you up if you get close to me bark. But still, don't approach dogs when you don't know the owner. Don't approach random dog owners on the street. Dogs are perceptive and can pick up on stress of their owner at your approach and may become more defensive as a result. If you get bit approaching an unfamiliar dog, it's your fault, even if the law may not agree. Gonna add some additional advice to your post. If a loose dog charges towards you, don't run. Stand your ground and square straight up to the fucker. Because 1 point you can't outrun it, 2 point it will likely stop to evaluate the threat that this fearless human is. The other day I was walking my dog through a pretty bad neighborhood and this massive pit breaks through the fence to its backyard and charges straight at me and my dog. I positioned my dog behind my back, squared myself with the pit and stood still. The pit stopped on the other side of the road, stopped barking, and started sniffing the air. To see WTF it was that wasn't afraid of it. So yeah, some advice that I was lucky enough to have heard and recalled when I needed it. Cat urine. If you clean a cat box with bleach, it can actually react with the ammonia in the urine and produce chloramine vapors. Don't accidentally gas yourself with cat piss. In case anyone was wondering, wash the cat litter box with white vinegar, rinse it out, then wash it with hydrogen peroxide and rinse again. Works like a charm. Or do like I do and never wash it, and when it get too gross throw it out and get a new one. Covert narcissists. They act like the perfect guy or girl for you, but only until you're lured in. Then boom, the real them comes through. Manipulative, ignoring, belittling, judgmental, cruel, but by that point, your feelings are well and truly sunk into them. Getting out is like wading through quicksand. My mother was one of those. I can attest to this. Sorry to hear that sad face. Hope you're doing good now though. I also had a step parent who was the same. It's a toxic thing and quite difficult to explain to people outside of the house because they often act so perfect with strangers in the outside world. Unqualified psychotherapists. Edit. TBH, I think the public would be surprised how few therapy titles are actually protected titles. Like clinical psychologist or psychiatrist, anyone can call themselves a psychotherapist. They should all be registered, so definitely check. In the UK this would be either BACP, BABCP or HCPC. Fun hub, all unqualified medical professionals.